My good old captain said to me, go down, your blood-red roses, go down. Well, captain said to me, go down, your blood-red roses, go down. Well, captain said to me, pinks and puddings, eastern seas are bound to say, go down, your blood-red roses, go down. For sunken ships will tell no tale. Go down, your blood-red roses, go down. Oh, your pinks and posies. Go down, your blood-red roses, go down. And growl you may, but go ye must. Go down, your blood-red roses, go down. Around Cape Stiff in the icy blast. Go down, your blood-red roses, go down. Oh, your pinks and posies. Go down, your blood-red roses, go down. Nay, boats and clothes are all in port. Go down, your blood-red roses, go down. And it's mighty drafty round Cape Horn. Go down, your blood-red roses, go down. Oh, your pinks and posies. Go down, your blood-red roses, go down. And German lands will dance around. Go down, your blood-red roses, go down. Well, drive the roses underground. Go down, your blood-red roses, go down. Oh, your pinks and posies. Go down, your blood-red roses, go down.
Will you help me to raise them, boys? Oh, honey. Will you help me to raise them, boys? Oh, honey. Will you help me to raise them, boys? See you when the sun goes down. Will the weights on the mate boat? Oh, honey. The weights on the mate boat. Oh, honey. The weights on the mate boat. See you when the sun goes down. Got a long, tall, yellow gal. Oh, honey. Got a long, tall, yellow gal. Oh, honey. Got a long, tall, yellow gal. See you when the sun goes down. Well, her name is Evelina, boys. Oh, honey. Her name is Evelina, boys. Oh, honey. Her name is Evelina, boys. See you when the sun goes down. Well, the weights on the captain boat. Oh, honey. The weights on the captain boat. Oh, honey. The weights on the captain boat. See you when the sun goes down. Well, the weights on the donkey man. Oh, honey. The weights on the donkey man. Oh, honey. The weights sits on the donkey, men. See you when the sun goes down. Will you help me to raise them, boys? Oh, honey. Will you help me to raise them, boys? Oh, honey. Will you help me to raise them, boys? See you when the sun goes down.
Johnny rose on the May morning, called for water to wash his hands, and he's calling for his 'twa greyhounds that were bound in iron chains, were bound in iron chains. Johnny rode his great grey mare, and the hounds before him go, and he's awa to the great green wood for to hunt the red-tailed doe, to hunt the red-tailed doe. Johnny shot the bandy deer, she was wounded in the side, and between the water and the woods the greyhounds laid their pride, the greyhounds laid their pride. Johnny ate the venison, and the dogs uncalled did feed, and they all lay down and fell asleep, asleep as they'd been deed, asleep as they'd been deed.
Now by there came a silly old man, and a silly old man was he, and he's awa to the king's foresters for to tell on young Johnny, to tell on young Johnny.
7 men they heard him out, and away then they did ride, and they came on Johnny all alane, and they shot him in the side, they shot him in the side. Johnny shot 6 of them, and the 7th he wounded sore, and he's laid his leg over his horseback, and he swore that he would hunt more, he swore that he would hunt more. Johnny rode his great grey mare to a clearing in the wood, but he left behind a blood-red trail, and they shot him where he stood, they shot him where he stood. Now Johnny's great big bow is broke, and his 'twa greyhounds are slain, and his body lies in Moneymusk, and his hunting days are done, his hunting days are done.
Hello, hello, hello. Oh, yeah, I forgot mine. Sorry. All right.
That's all right. That's why I practiced this whole long thing so that we wouldn't need you for that.
Okay, good. Yeah, I was a little busy. Yeah.
Hey, howdy, folks. Happy Almost Irish. This is most of the Whateverly Brothers, and I should explain at this point that Tom is taking a leave of absence from the
Tom?
band. He
No, that'd be
he shall
Rob.
return, probably quicker than Douglas MacArthur did. Um, but he's possibly up for a new job at the Lazy Bee Ranch, which would involve a lot of learning and doing stuff. And he's also doing a lot of work with his songwriting and his almost brand new spanking CD, Lift Me Up, which if you don't have already, you should probably get from us or him,
For him, yeah.
robneisler.com.
We actually thought he was going to go to Nashville, but his wife squashed that pretty quickly. That he could show up with that fancy guitar of his and wow a few people and write a bunch of songs, but
They'd probably make him stay because
probably
he's
make
so
him
good.
stay, and then his wife would get pissed, and we don't want.
Yeah, don't want that to happen.
No. So yeah.
Okay, something weird just happened to my desktop. So, anyway,
What more?
so those of you who have not gotten one of our most recent bulletins, we were advertising Humor and Heart, our dear friends Jess McKeegan and Mark Eiler. But Mark is a top-level sound person who hasn't been getting enough work recently, and CBS just decided to give him a bunch of money. So you see on your screen, we looked around and we thought, well, why not just start with the beginning? And these two wonderful friends of ours were in the very first FOD way back on June 6th, 2020.
Oh my God. Yes.
And so it thought it would be nice to have them back. And they did it on such short notice. Called them yesterday, and they called back just as they were leaving the supermarket with their arms full of groceries, which I wish I'd had a video of. Anyway, so here we have William Pint and Felicia Dale. And I guess I'm going to do what Rob usually did. I don't have the reverb, but I can at least hold my finger over my ear. Prepare for an... Oh, wait, no, I don't do this until
Don't
it's...
do that yet.
Never mind.
We're not ready to do that yet. Come on.
I'm not looking at my own plot outline here. Okay, so anyway, let's see, where are we? Oh,
30 seconds and it goes into oblivion. So
yes. Okay, it's time for a toast here
yes, indeed.
to the ever-present Whateverly Brothers train wrecks.
Nice. I'll drink to that.
Proud to
Yes.
be part of
As
it.
Rob says, people watch the car races to see the crashes, and so if they want to watch music, we're sort of the equivalent.
Yeah, we're
All right. With that in mind,
Yeah.
I guess I should do my first song because there's nothing else to do.
yeah. Because I actually need to figure out where I'm at here.
You're to my left.
I know. Yeah. No, I get that part. So I'm gonna.
So back when I first knew you, you were way to my right, but that's another story.
I don't know what's changed, but
All right. Well, this song reflects the fact that that the English spent a lot of their time making fun of the Irish, and a lot of those ended up being quote unquote Irish songs, including many of them done by the Clancy brothers, and I believe they did this one too, but I could be wrong. This is the Irish Rover. So, and there's a place when I go like that on my guitar when anybody and everybody are invited to go. All right, that's all you have to do. In the year of our Lord 1806, we set sail from the cold Quay of Cork. We were sailing away with cargo bricks for the Grand City Hall of New York. We'd an elegant craft, she was rigged fore and aft, and how the trade winds drove her. She had 23 masts, she stood several blasts, they called her the Irish Rover. There was Barney McGee from the banks of the Lee, there was Hogan from County Tyrone. There was Johnny McGurk, who was scared stiff of work, and a chap from Westmeath named Malone. There was Slugger O'Toole, who was drunk as a rule, and Fighting Bill Tracy from Dover. And our man McMahon from the banks of the Bann was the skipper of the Irish Rover. We had 1 million bags of the best Sligo rags. We had 2 million barrels of bone. We had 3 million bales of old nanny goat's tails. We had 4 million barrels of stone. We had 5 million dogs. We had 6 million hogs. 7 million barrels of porter. We had 8 million sides of old blind horses' hides in the hull of the Irish Rover. We had sailed 7 years when the measles broke out, and our ship lost her way in a fog. In a fog. And the whole of the crew was reduced down to 2, plus myself and the captain's old dog. Roof, roof! And the ship struck a rock. Oh Lord, what a shock! And nearly tumbled over. Turned 9 times around. And the poor dog was drowned. I'm the last of the Irish To you, Chris.
All right.
Well done.
All right. Here's an immigrant song, a little tune called "City of Chicago." I will do the bits and pieces that I have to do here. There we go. And that biggie. All right, something like this. In the city of Chicago, as the evening shadows fall, there are people dreaming of the hills of Donegal. 1847 was the year it all began. Deadly pains of hunger drove 1 million from the land. They journeyed not for glory, their motives not as greed. A voyage of survival across the stormy sea. In the city of Chicago, as the evening shadows fall, there are people dreaming of the hills of Donegal. Some of them knew fortune, some of them knew fame, more of them knew hardship and died upon the plain. Many stood throughout the nation, they drove the railroad cars, brought their songs and music to ease their lonely hearts. In the city of Chicago, as the evening shadows fall, there are people dreaming of the hills of Donegal. In the city of Chicago, as the evening shadows fall,
Such a fine Celtoid tenor you are.
Uh,
Um,
Thank you much.
yes, and please look at the text I just sent you.
I just saw the text. Oh, yeah. All right. I'll deal with that.
I mean, it's a really interesting book collection, but rather look at a guitar.
Okay, you're just gonna see me move my camera now. This is completely and totally unprofessional, but what the hell? It's not
I know
like we
it's more
haven't done.
professional to move it and fix it. So I think.
I
All
think.
right.
All right.
Among other things, we have a substitute person working our connection to Facebook. Sally's a little under the weather right now, and our dear friend Diana Herbst is humanizing the whole thing. And she has already informed me that we actually have a few people along with us here: Katrina,
Yep.
Jonathan,
What?
Stephanie, Karen.
I didn't think anybody was going to
Is
listen.
this actually SP? Oh, yeah, I know what that is. That's SP Stout. Yes, indeed. Gary, they're all here, and Lydia also.
Cool.
So,
All right.
welcome aboard, y'all, and welcome aboard the rest of you. If you
Yes.
want to say hi, do so. If not, please remain anonymous and have comfort in that.
Yes.
Um,
Or just because you never actually want to, you never want to admit that you actually came here.
okay. Well, this is a this is a Fortnight of Doom, which we write as capital F, small o, large D, but that says FOD. And that's a song I was going to do 2 weeks ago, but we ran out of time. And I got to remember to turn off my sound soon. 'Cause we're hearing little dinglings from this dingling. Anyway,
Sorry, a certain tune came
but
in.
I digress. I think I digressed from my digression. Um, anyway, this is a song called FOD. I have no idea really. Well, it doesn't make sense anyway. I have often said if this song makes sense to you, you should probably see a good counselor. Um, and oh, and it's Stephanie's birthday. Is that Stephanie Bonsanti? Well, I will sing happy. Is there a way we could do like I could do the first part, and then Chris, you could do the second part, and then William and Felicia, you could finish it off? Is that
I think
technologically possible?
that would hurt. I think so. That would hurt.
Okay.
So
Well, then just silently sing along. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Stephanie. Happy birthday to you. And many more. And I guess that's time for another toast. To Stephanie, long life, happiness, and anything else you want. Here's to you.
Woohoo!
Okay.
don't ask us because we don't know. So.
Back to what I was yakking about before. This is a song I picked up, an album by Malcolm Dalglish and Gray Larson called First of Autumn. I actually got 2 songs from that because that's where I got Shawnee Town also. So, as I said, this song comes with a bit of a psychological warning. Oh, and there's like after the second little lead thing, I go FOD, and I usually put my hand up, which means you can all sing FOD in your various places. And if I'm doing this live with real people, I say try not to sing it on the same note. Okay. Next time I get a chance, I'm going to turn off my sound on my phone. I went down to the mowing field to rock, fight a lick a die, do whoa, 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 whoa. I went down to the mowing field, FOD. Well, I went down to the mowing field, the poison serpent bit my heel, to the day. Well, I fell down upon the ground to rock, fight a lick a die, do whoa, 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 whoa. I fell down upon the ground. FOD. Well, I fell down upon the ground, closed my eyes and looked all around. To the day. Well, I sat up on the stump for to take a little rest. To rock, die, do whoa, 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 whoa. Sat up on the stump for to take a little rest. FOD. Well, sat upon the stump for to take a little rest. I looked like a woodchuck on its nest. To the day. Well, the woodchuck sings a banjo song to rock, lick it out, oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Banjo sings a banjo song. Fart. Well, the woodchuck sings a banjo song. Up jumps a skunk with his breeches on. A doo-rah-dee-dee. Well, woodchuck and skunk got into a fight. Too-rah, fart-a-leg-a-da-doo. Whoa, 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 whoa. Woodchuck and skunk got into a fight. Fart. Well, woodchuck and skunk got into a fight. Smelled so strong as to put out the light. A doo-rah-dee-dee. Well, they danced till the chimney began to rust. To-rah, fart-a-leg-a-da-doo. Whoa, 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 whoa. Danced till the chimney began to rust. Fart. Well, the dance till the chimney began to rust. It's hard to tell which smelt the worst. A doo-rah-dee-dee. Well, I had an old dog with a cold, wet nose. Too-rah, fart-a-leg-a-fido. Whoa, 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 whoa. Had an old dog with a cold, wet nose. Fart. Well, I had an old dog with a cold, wet nose. She caught a cold and she couldn't smell cloves. A doo-rah-dee-dee. So I put the dog's nose in the baby's shoe. Too-rah, fart-a-leg-a-da-doo. Whoa, 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 whoa. Put the dog's nose in the baby's shoe. Fart. Well, put the dog's nose in the baby's shoe. Instead of roof, roof, she went achoo. A doo-rah-dee-dee.
That
So-
is awesome. What a great song.
Isn't that something?
Fabulous.
It's just totally crazy. It's just like it's both old and new and future at the same time.
Yeah, absolutely.
If we're conversing, Felicia, you were a little soft, but I
sorry.
understood what you said because you have good diction.
Diction. Yes.
Diction. Yes.
That was actually the nicest compliment, one of the nicest compliments anybody ever gave me when we did that Ren Fair in Richland. And you said not only could you hear me across the fair, but you actually could hear the words.
Yes, that was
saying, and I
awesome.
went,
I remember that. You were great.
Cool. All those voice lessons and acting lessons and my expensive education paid off.
Paid off right
You
there.
played at a
One-
Ren
it was
Fair.
kind of like, pulling the handle on the slot machine and drowning in quarters.
Yeah, but,
Anyway,
look at you now. I mean,
Right?
hey, I'm starting the process of decay. That's all I can say. Started with my teeth and it's moving on. You may have noticed and when I was holding that note at the end of Irish Rover,
Yes.
that I was mostly, but at one point I went like that. That's
God,
because
you're raising
my
it.
my upper plate was falling down.
I was
Hate it
impressed
when that
with
happens.
that note. Holy smokes, you held that a long time. It was great.
Yeah, I can do it longer when I'm standing up, and also longer since I stopped smoking cigarettes.
Oh, yeah, I bet.
But
yeah,
that's
well, I mean, given the fact that we actually had, we were doing a gig one time and we actually sent him home because he showed up at the gig without any teeth. So we got him back in the car. We kicked him back in the car. Drove. Fortunately, it wasn't that far, thankfully. But to go get his teeth. So yeah. All right. So I will
I
do
hope
one.
you bit him afterwards. Just to
Well,
make
no,
it-
because yeah,
Make
All right.
yourself bigger, Chris.
yeah,
okay.
right.
Now we can see what you're playing.
something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Cool.
so this is a tune. Actually, I got this for William and Felicia, and we'll see if I can do it justice. But I love this song.
Make yourself
my
bigger,
version-
Chris.
What's that?
Make yourself bigger. You're a tiny little thing.
Oh, I'm going to do that. Thank you, because everybody forgets to do that. I have to be reminded. So,
Yeah, that's okay. If you don't
Okay.
mind. Oh, there you go.
is.
See,
Here
you're
I
so
am.
handsome. We want to watch you.
so by the way, this is a there are
That's usually Rob's job is to remind Chris to spotlight. So
oh, well. So this is my version of the Beaches of Lucannon, which in hearing, yeah. We'll see if it stands up. But also, and both William and I are playing citterns, and so this is a rare occasion. You rarely ever, if any, come across two citterns at the same time. So, not that they're playing at the same time, but here we go. I meet my mates at the morning, meet my mates in the morning, and lo, that I am old. The roaring of the ledges, the summer groundswell roll. I heard that I knew this was going to happen. Heard their lift their chorus to drown the breaker's song. The beaches of Lucannon, 2,000,000 voices strong. Songs of pleasant stations beside the salt lagoon. Songs of flowing squadrons that shuffle down the dune. Songs of midnight dances that churn the sea to flame. The beaches of Lucannon before the sailors came. I met my mates in the morning, I'll never hear them more. We came and went in legions and darkened all the shore. Among the foam-flecked offing, as far as voice could reach, we hailed the landing parties, we sang them up the beach. Oh, the beaches of Lucannon, oh, the winter wheat so tall, dripping, crinkled lichen, the sea fog drenching all, the porches of our playground, all shining white and smooth. The beaches of Lucannon, the home where we were born. I meet my mates in the morning, a broken, scattered band. Men shoot us in the water, men club us in the sand. They sent us to the shelter, they sent us to the salt house, like silly sheep and tame. Still we sing Lucannon before the sailors came. Wheel down to Southard, go Varushcha go. Tell the salt sea viceroy the story of our woe. For like the empty shark's egg, the tempest fling to shore. The beaches of Lucannon will know their sons no more. I meet my mates in the morning, and lo, that I am old. I almost got it, damn it. But I almost got it. You are not making any noise there, William. Oh, she's tuning. She's tuning. Oh, she's tuning. It's going to be a while before they come back. So, Dan, are you gonna unmute? I'm the only person that's muted at this point.
Okay, I have returned from the land of the silent.
There we go. Cool.
And I think it's probably time to do get your graphic ready.
I got my graphic ready.
Okay. All right. I'm going to this is got to cover my ear now.
Okay.
All right. The Folky Inquisition is a series of questions and very arcane and hard to figure out folky lore. And we asked 2 of these per show. 2. And I'm imminent. The first question is imminent. So,
that is awesome.
And that reminds me, in terms of fancy graphics, Chris,
we've got it in the graphic.
A graphic for our guests to. There we go.
There we go.
If you go to that place on the interweb, that will funnel money into the pockets of these 2 lovely people who on screen are below me,
yes.
A little to the right. But we do this, as you know, Rob put this best, is one of the main reasons we do this is to support our fellow musicians, particularly the full-timers. and also the venues. We've done stuff for several venues. So anyway, just remember, it's never too late to donate.
Absolutely.
It's my old street singing, my old busking line.
Mm.
So anyway, the first question.
Aha.
A lot of you are familiar with Harry Smith. Ta-da! One of the great collectors of American folk songs. And the question is, from what region of our fair country did Harry Smith originate?
Yes. Now we don't have the immediate vocal feedback that we normally do because Sally's not in the room, but so it'll come via text. So we bet.
Yeah. So send it in on the and I guess if you're on YouTube, you're sort of out of luck on this one unless you want to jump onto Facebook.
Yeah.
But that's coming through the Facebook feed, which Diana will shoot to me when we get an answer. So once again, the question: from which region of this country did Harry Smith originate?
Only the oldest among us will get that.
Please state it in the form of a
Now, and that's right. I'm also supposed to say that friends, relatives, and pets of the Whateverly Brothers or the guest artists are ineligible for this contest.
Yes, that's correct. So the dogs can't answer that. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kirby, you're out of luck.
Yep. So's Bo. So's Charlie.
So's Stella.
Yeah.
And you guys have a couple of felines that wander around there, I think. So tell them to.
I rarely ever know the answer to the things anyway, so I wouldn't.
Okay, here it is. Time for me. I wish I had reverb. I'm going to have to go down because Rob has promised me he'll get me this reverb unit. I think I have a drive to Kent in my future.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right, here we go. Prepare for an intoxicating blend of traditional and modern music, reflecting the immense vitality of those who live and work on the sea. Pint and Dale's music fits into
Keep going.
folk, rock, and popular song, but it's rich with the narrative, rhythm, rhyme, and lyric associated with the days of the tall ships. With extraordinary vocals and guitar, octave mandolin, Irish pennon whistles, sitar and fiddles, ukulele, percussion, and the exotic sounds of the viola. Right?
Whatever that is.
Yeah, or hurdy-gurdy. Ken and Felicia Dale bring an energetic and contemporary spirit to their material. And quoting from Dirty Linen magazine, William Pint and Felicia Dale rank among North America's most exciting interpreters of music based in the traditions of the British Isles and France, with a few little forays into the North America, I'm adding. Where was I? Okay, unconventional but spine-tingling, unique and mesmerizing.
Oh my God, we're going to fail so badly.
Do you know where the term mesmerizing comes from?
Nope.
Yes, from Mesmer.
There was it was the guy who invented hypnotism, whose name was Mesmer.
Yeah.
It was a guy in Vienna, kind of pre-Freud. I think he was part of that whole thing of the Vienna Medical School. Which was why, if I was going to catch my worst disease while in Europe, I did it like a half a mile from the University of Vienna. Anyway, so that's these two other people. So we're gonna take a rest and have them play a bunch of songs for you. Then we'll be back with another Folky Inquisition, I believe, and a video of the Whateverly Brothers all in one place doing something, and other good stuff like that.
Okay.
So,
all right, over to you guys, and here you go.
Hi, everybody.
Okay, hi. Wow, what an introduction. This is great. we were enjoying the reverb, Dan, because if you go like this when you talk, it simulates the reverb. Wow, yeah. So,
yeah, you just about got me on that one.
Yeah.
Just about. Aw, darn.
Well, you did. You derailed me for a little bit.
Good. Glad to hear it.
But I was able to re-rail.
Well, nice to be back again. This is terrific.
Thank you for having us, even as emergency pitch hitters.
We thought, though,
like
since...
you're like Jim Nason, emergency folk singers.
Oh.
Yeah.
Whoop, whoop. When we get the Close
never
enough.
mind.
Okay. We thought we would do Irishy type things since that was the theme of today. So we have a song. If you're interested in the history of St. Patrick, the actual historical background of St. Patrick and his adventures in Ireland and everything, this is a very useful and handy song that we're going to sing, because you can automatically eliminate everything in this song from the historical record of what you're trying to find out about St. Patrick, because this song had to be written by the guy who first kissed the Blarney Stone or something, I guess, because...
Can I cut in for a second? I'm sorry to interrupt.
Sure, you already have, yeah.
Anybody who wants to win this prize, and it will be some prize from our treasure chest of crappy merchandise, all you have to do is Bing, Google, or whatever, search for Harry Smith, and you'll find out, because he was born somewhere, and that would identify the region. So, just trying to help you, trying to get rid of some of this stuff we have back here. All right, back to our regularly scheduled program.
So this is a song called St. Patrick Was a Gentleman. He probably wasn't a gentleman. I
Who
don't know.
knows?
But
We don't even know if he was real or not.
but it's a darn good song, a lot of fun, and we've mixed it with a couple of lovely Irish polkas just for fun of it. And we'll talk more about this in just a bit. But let's try playing this. 2, 3, and... St. Patrick was a gentleman, he came from decent people. He built a church in Dublin town and on it put a steeple. His father was a Harrington, his uncle was a Grady. His aunt was an O'Shaughnessy and his mother was a Brady. The Wicklow hills are very high and so's the hill of Hauser. But there's a hill much higher still, higher than the Moser. And on the top of this high hill St. Patrick preached a sermon. He drove the frogs into the bogs and vanished all the vermin. So here's to good St. Patrick, he was so kind and clever. He gave the toads and snakes a twist and he banished them forever. There's not an aisle in Erin's Isle where dirty vermin mustered. That there he put his deer, put down he murdered them in clusters. The toads went pop, the frogs went slop, flap, flapped into the water. The snakes committed suicide to save themselves from slaughter. 100,000 reptiles blew, each armed with sweet discourses, and dined on them in Killaloo in soups and second courses. When blind worms crawling through the grass disgusted all the nation, he opened their eyes and gave them rise to view their situation. So here's to good St. Patrick, he was so kind and clever. He gave the toads and snakes a twist and he banished them forever. No wonder that our Irish lads, they are so free and frisky, for good St. Patrick taught them first the joys of tippling whiskey. No wonder that the saint himself to try it would be willing, for his uncle kept a poteen still in the town of Enniskillen. So here's the good St. Patrick, he was so kind and clever, he gave the toads and snakes a twist and he banished them forever. So here's the good St. Patrick, he was so kind and clever, he gave the toads and snakes a twist and he banished them forever.
So yes, all true, every bit of it. Or maybe not.
Or maybe not, yeah. We are going to be doing a St. Patrick's Day broadcast with our dear friends Tanya Opland and Mike Freeman on Wednesday, on St. Patrick's Day itself. And we've been playing around with that for the last, actually, couple months, doing recordings and working with Mike and Tanya. It's going to be a lot of fun. We play under the name Hunter's Moon for St. Patrick's Day, and that will be on YouTube at 2 o'clock on.
And I think also on Facebook too, right?
Facebook, we're going to be playing it on the following Saturday, a week
That's
from
right.
tonight. Yeah, today.
So that song that we just did will be part of that, and it'll be fiddle and or dulcimer, I can't remember which, and more harmonies, and it's a lot of fun. Djembe. And here's a song that we're not going to do that day.
But it's a fun song that we learned from the singing of an Irish a cappella group called the Voice Squad.
Who are absolutely out of this world
Yeah, they're
good.
just an amazing group
Yeah,
that
aren't they
we
great? Oh my gosh.
ran into by accident on our very first trip to the UK.
Yep.
We were still kind of jet lagged, and we were going off to play at a festival, and we got there early in the afternoon, and we thought, oh, we can take a little nap while this is going on. So we were trying to rest in this room that we were staying in, and had the window open, but right across the open courtyard was one of the venues, and they were doing a sound check, and these three Irishmen came up and started doing this a cappella singing in 3-part harmony, which is unusual for a cappella, for Irish singing, is normally not done in part singing so much, but they were absolutely fantastic.
Hair-raisingly beautiful.
Yeah, and this was not the song they were singing at the time, but it's one of the songs that we've heard from one of their recordings about little Jimmy Murphy, and it's got a very singable chorus. So I expect everybody to jump in and sing along. Okay.
Hey Dan. Hey Dan. Hey Dan. You need to mute yourself. I mean, play along, but.
Oh.
I'll
Where are you
slap him later.
Okay, thanks. It's okay.
It was in Kilkenny the great row was making, and poor little Jimmy Murphy was the last to be taken. We're far from the last road, from the east to Downpatrick, where lies poor little Jimmy Murphy on the sweet green mossy banks, Killamallink, Kilimanjaro, whiskey, frisky, tooraloo, rank a diddle-I-do, ding, duralio.
gathered our pikes and flintlocks and green branches, and straight to old Wexford we made our advances.
We're far from the last road, from the east to Downpatrick, where lies poor little Jimmy Murphy on the sweet green mossy banks, Killamalain, Kilimanjaro, whiskey, frisky, Tooraloo, Rank-a-diddle-I-do, ding-doodle-I-o. We entered New Ross, Vinegar Hill, and through Gorey, but 'twas the boys of the Cork militia that deprived us the glory. We're far from the last road, from the east to Downpatrick, where lies poor little Jimmy Murphy on the sweet green mossy banks, Killamalain, Kilimanjaro, whiskey, frisky, Tooraloo, Rank-a-diddle-I-do, ding-doodle-I-o.
We marched through the town and we marched through the city, with our hands tied behind us and the ladies cried pity.
We're far from the last road, from the east to Downpatrick, where lies poor little Jimmy Murphy on the sweet green mossy banks, Killamalain, Kilimanjaro, whiskey, frisky, Tooraloo, Rank-a-diddle-I-do, ding-doodle-I-o. Now Jimmy Murphy wasn't hanged for sheep stealing, but for courting a pretty maiden, and her name was Kate Whalen. We're far from the last road, from the east to Downpatrick, where lies poor little Jimmy Murphy on the sweet green mossy banks, Killamalain, Kilimanjaro, whiskey, frisky, Tooraloo, Rank-a-diddle-I-do, ding-doodle-I-o. Sure and Begorra. Oh, look at this.
That had some of the best, what I like to call Celtic doo-wop
Yes.
of any song I've ever heard.
Yeah, no,
Isn't that awesome? We love that song.
I'm never going to get that around my mouth, ever. But I like
It took a while, especially doing it with Tanya to do three-part harmony. That was some work. I just got to tune this guy.
No, I am totally. The voice squad is truly amazing. Yeah.
Oh, aren't they
they?
fantastic?
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Such nice guys too.
The thing is that each one of them individually is like a fantastic Sean Nose Irish a cappella traditional singer.
Yeah.
And to put all three of them together singing parts but with the same intensity.
Yeah.
And it's just magical. It's like something like nothing else.
Delightfully overwhelming, it sounds like.
Yeah, they're
Well, and the venue was like so full you could barely squeeze a breath in, let alone another person.
And this was so long ago that, I mean, they mentioned that they were shocked because they had brought,
I
I
think
forget, they
10
think what,
cassettes
no,
or
it's like 20 or something, 25 cassettes with them for the festival.
All
And
right. That's probably the only thing that the Whateverly Brothers and them have in common is the fact that we didn't bring enough merch.
Yeah. Well, they sold out the very, very, very first venue that they played in the first set of the festival. And,
Oh wow!
and we're like, oh golly, I guess we kind of brought some more. We had the great pleasure of singing with them at a workshop,
Oh,
and
dream come
and
true.
one of them even kissed
the guy who looks
Felicia,
like Sean
yeah.
Connery kissed me on the cheek, very chastely. He was so charming. I was like, yeah, that's all right.
Well, one of the great types of Irish songs are the Irish immigration songs. And many of them are kind of sad and slow and heartfelt songs. But this is kind of the exception. We'll do one of the other kinds in a bit. But this is The Rocky Road to Dublin. And obviously this guy is very up and into the idea of discovering new things and immigrating.
I took this thing out of its case earlier, and it was like, oh, I'm all flat. It's like, okay, I'll tune you up. Oh, no, it's too tight. I hate it. And like now it's like all floppy again. It's worse than the hurdy-gurdy. Hang on, I'm almost done. You could tell them a joke, dear.
A joke.
I can't believe you're actually tuning your
A joke. I don't know if we have time for a joke.
No, we don't have time for a joke. Okay, that's close enough.
But it's tempting. Okay, I'll think about that. Ready?
Yeah.
Yeah. Once more. In the merry month of June, from me home I started, left the girls at tomb. Really broken-hearted, saluted father dear. Kissed me darling mother, drank a pint of beer. Me grief and tears to smother, then off to reap the corn. Leave where I was born, cut a stout black thorn to banish ghosts and goblins. A brand new pair of brogues, rattling all the bogs, frightening all the dogs on the rocky road to Dublin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, hunt the hare and turn her down the rocky road, all the way to Dublin, whack for Lottie Rod. Well, in Mullingar that night I rested, bones so weary, started by daylight. Next morning, blithe and early, took a drop of the pure to keep me heart from sick, and that's the Paddy's cure. Whenever he's on for drink and see the lassies smile, laughing all the while at me curious style, would set your heart a bubbling. Asked me was I hired, wages I required till I was nearly tired of the rocky road to Dublin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, hunt the hare and turn her down the rocky road, all the way to Dublin, whack for Lottie Rod. Now in Dublin next arrived, I thought it was such a pity to be so soon deprived of the view of that fine city. So then I took a stroll down among the quality of me bundle. It was stowed all in a deep locality. Something crossed my mind when I looked behind. No bundle could I find tied to me stick. A wobbling inquiring for the road, said McConaughey road wasn't much in vogue on the rocky road to Dublin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, hunt the hare and turn her down the rocky road, all the way to Dublin, whack for Lottie Rod. Now from there I got away, my spirits never failing, landed on the quay just as the ship was sailing. The captain at me roared, said that no room had he when I jumped on board. My cabin was bound for Paddy, down among the pigs, played some funny rigs, danced some hasty jigs, the water round me bubbling when off Holyhead. Wished myself was dead or better off instead on the rocky road to Dublin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, hunt the hare and turn her down the rocky road, all the way to Dublin, whack for Lottie Rod. Now the boys from Liverpool, when I safely landed, called myself a fool. I could no longer stand it, me blood began to boil. Temper I was losing for old Aaron's Isle. They began abusing our rummy soul, says I shall lately I let flat. Galway boys were nigh and saw I was a hobbling with a loud hooray. Joined in the affray, we quickly cleared the way for the rocky road to Dublin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, hunt the hare and turn her down the rocky road, all the way to Dublin, whack for Lottie Rod. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, hunt the hare and turn her down the rocky road, all the way to Dublin, whack for Lottie Rod.
Oh yeah. And that is just a plain difficult song to sing. It really.
And you know, I had carefully placed my mics earlier so that I wouldn't hit either of them. And I've somehow changed them so I was hitting both of them. So
Of course.
sorry about that if it was coming.
Extra percussion.
Yeah, no, I just thought that was like a special effect you were doing.
There we go. Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought that was on purpose.
Well, if it was on purpose, it would have been on the beat, I would think.
Yeah.
So, you know.
Okay, now let's try the other type of Irish immigration song. I mean, during the Great Famine in Ireland, just thousands and thousands of people left Ireland, just abandoned whole towns and things, and came to seek a better life. A lot of them came to North America and had quite a few adventures doing that. So this is called The Green Fields of Canada. Fair
to the groves of shillelagh and shamrock. Farewell to the girls of old Ireland all round. May their hearts be as merry as ever I would wish them, when far away across the ocean I'm bound. Oh, my father is old, and my mother quite feeble. To leave their own country, it grieves their hearts sore. Oh, the tears in great drops down their cheeks they are rolling, to think they must die upon some foreign shore. But what matter to me where my bones may be buried, if in peace and contentment I can live my life? Oh, the green fields of Canada, they daily are blooming. It's there I'll put an end to my misery and strife. Then it's pack up your sea stores and tarry no longer. $10 a week isn't very bad pay, with no taxes nor tithes to devour up your wages when you're on the green fields of America. The sheep run unshorn, and the land's gone to rushes. The handyman's gone, and the winders of creel. Away across the ocean, good journeymen, tailors, and fiddlers that played out the old mountain reels. Oh, but I mind the time when old Ireland was flourishing, when lots of her tradesmen could work for good pay. But since our manufactories have crossed the Atlantic, it's now we must follow to America. And it's now to conclude and to finish my ditty. If ever friendless Irishman chances my way, with the best in the house I will greet him and welcome at home on the green fields of America.
I'll just say it. That was stunning.
Thank you.
That was a tier one.
Oh my God.
Isn't that true? I mean, you think about these people, they left everything behind and they were literally starving to death.
Yeah.
And it just was a dreadful time.
Yeah.
We do one more for this set? Is that enough? Do we have enough time for that?
Please.
Something to kind of lighten the mood a little.
Yeah, that would help.
We're dying of starvation.
'Cause I'm gonna.
Well, that song, means a lot to me because it used to be Mary Malloy's solo number that she almost, not all the time, but very often would do when we had our band Morrigan back in the late 70s.
Before I was invented.
And part of our show is that every time we would all do solos each time, and Mary would do that song, and it was just always just such a wonderful emotional thing. She was a terrific singer, and still is a terrific singer, actually. This is a slightly different kind of song. This comes from an Irish, an American Irishman in Chicago by the name of Brian Leo, and he observed something about Irish songs. So this is one. Well, the song pretty much explains itself. It's about a lesser-known location in Ireland. With a bit of luck.
I can't remember. Am I doing this on this? I can't remember. No. Okay, never mind.
Oh, no, not this one.
That's what I thought. Okay, good.
There's no sort. It goes just like that. There's no shortage of songs about Dublin. Songs of Galway and Belfast abound. There are songs about Kerry, Tipperary, and Derry. We're buried in tunes for each town. There are volumes for Clare and a score for Kildare. There are dozens for Limerick and Cork. But it's surely a crime that no one's took the time to write one bloody song about Gort. So let's all raise our glasses to Gort. Gort! It's a beautiful Irish resort. Gort! Where the children cavort, while the men sit and sport with a quart of the ale they export. You can travel the 32 counties, up from Wexford to the Dunangus Fort. Ah, but no place can claim a more musical name. Gort, Gort, Gort. There are songs for each river in Ireland, from the Shannon, the Liffey, the Lee. Both the Bann and the Boyne have enough you could join them together in a great symphony. There are songs for each mountain and valley and lake, even songs for the Shannon Airport. But we've nothing to show 'em when they call for a poem to the honor and glory of Gort. So let's all raise our voices to Gort. Gort! She's a bit too far east for a port. Gort! But there's surely no sort of a court that could thwart the retort. There's no wart upon Gort. She's the birthplace of nobody famous. Nothing happened there worth a report. So to keep this song short, I exhort your support for Gort, Gort, Gort. Sing it again. Gort, Gort, Gort.
We think you guys should do this song.
I think we should. Okay, so what's Gort? I'm sorry. I'm a
Gort
stupid.
is an actual town.
It's
in
a town
Ireland.
in Ireland. Look it up.
know that. I mean, I
It
just
only has one song about it, yeah.
That's right. It's because you've never heard about it in a song until now.
until now.
And that is a rhyming dictionary for fort. Oh, did they use
Isn't it though?
Is
So
there a
how's
fort
that
in
for
Gort?
timing?
Is there a fort in Gort?
It's a bit too far east for a port.
No, for a fort.
For a fort. There should be a fort in Gort, but
Gort
Yeah,
Fort.
I don't remember
Fort
hearing
Fort.
that particular word. I mean, I think I heard every other word that had those three letters.
yes, you did. And actually, it was in there.
Oh,
If
okay.
you'll travel the 32 counties, it says, from Wexford to the Dun Angus Fort.
Oh, okay. That's where I thought you said port. Okay.
Fort.
Fort.
Oh, no, yeah, sorry.
That's wonderful. I
Fort.
just love that.
Hey,
Brian
How
Leo.
about our donation graphic now that
oh yeah, donation graphic. Let me.
graphic.
I was
All right.
slacking off on my other.
Don't forget to
duties here.
embiggen yourselves.
Yeah. Okay. I'm slightly bigger now. There we go.
No, you're still way too tiny. It's still us.
No, actually, as far as the live stream is concerned, you're actually pretty good. So,
Oh, okay.
yep. There you go.
All right. Oh goodness.
Yep.
Oh. Oh. Oh, we've got some more folks here.
Got a whole bunch.
Oh, and Diana says, "Be a good sport."
That's right.
And she also says, as soon as I get my phone to turn back on, James Wilderrudder and my cousin is in Washington, D.C. Sue Stewart. Oh, Chris Glanister joined. You just joined?
No. Yeah, I was. Yeah, I was there for a while.
Okay. David Kessler joined us and shouted Gort. And that reminds me, somewhere back there you said the word workshop. And I didn't want to interrupt you at that point, so I'll interrupt now to say that a week from today at 1 of the clock, Pacific Daylight Time, Maritime Folknet, a small but thriving, attempting to thrive nonprofit, very nonprofit, to fosters maritime culture, mainly the music, will be presenting a workshop on the evolution of the sea shanty, which should be something people want to know about these days. He will not be doing this on TikTok. He will be doing this on Facebook and YouTube. If you want to find out about watching it, you should go to our YouTube channel, Maritime Folknet. The Facebook slots are all taken, I think. I think even the waiting list is full. But anyway, this will be presented by Mr. Tom Lewis, old friend of all of ours, and actually a gentleman who I think did an album with y'all, with the two of you.
We
somewhere
did an
back
album
there.
together.
That
yes.
was a
And
long,
we produced
long time
this
ago.
for several albums.
So
yeah.
he's going to be streaming live from his barge, his barge,
It's a longboat?
canal barge, somewhere upon the waters of Ireland. He has left Britain. He calls him, what was the word he used today? A Brexident. So he's emigrated so he can still be in the European Union.
No, I don't blame him.
Neither do I, and I'm English.
He said they had to put the barge on a very large lorry to get it across the Irish Sea.
Because I emailed him and I asked him, how the hell did you get it to Ireland? And he said, a big lorry.
Wow.
So it sounds to me like we still haven't gotten an answer to the first Folky Inquisition.
Which is the first time.
No, it happened once last time. I think I need to start making these a little easier. And the one I had planned for the second one's almost as hard, or probably harder. So I don't know what to do here.
Oh, just go ahead and do it, because you never know.
William,
Yeah, go ahead and do it.
is your solo CD still on your website with the list of songs?
The list of songs is still on there. Yeah, I don't. It's a cassette.
It's a cassette.
Ooh, I got a cassette. Yes, I have several.
So
cassettes.
anyway, well, this is your big hint, because this is telling you where to go. Oh, and there's another big hint telling you where to go.
No, this is
Oh,
the position.
wrong hint. All right. The Whateverly Brothers and William Pint, separately, have recorded a very political shanty. It's on his first CD, his solo CD.
Cassette.
We have not released it yet, although we have played it to a few people.
It's also
What is
on an
that
album
song?
by John O'Connor.
Yes, written by John O'Connor of the formerly wonderful group Shays Rebellion.
Oh, yeah.
And anybody who's really been around long enough to have Shays Rebellion, you should be able to find that song pretty quickly too.
Yeah.
Anyway, but you can also go to their website and find it. So, and we're trying to make this easy for you folks. And I'm going to try to find. I think when we get Sally back in condition, she's better at these questions than I am. So anyway, good luck on either of those questions. We
Yes.
would love to send you something wonderful. It takes about a week for us to get it together, and then I walk it over to the post office and drop it in the thing.
Please notice that our technology is extremely interesting.
Yep. All right. What was I? I'm gonna look at. Oh, so yeah. Okay. This is what we want you to do to enrich our dear friends, help them keep their cats in cat food, and gas in their home away from home.
No cat, and it's diesel,
It's a
but
diesel.
same
Oh,
idea, yeah.
Oh, I'm
It keeps
sorry to
us
hear
in
that.
food.
Does that mean you lost a cat?
We never had one. We haven't had one since Frank the cat.
By the way, we have a winner for the first one.
Yay!
Yes. Well, okay. Actually, Stephanie did it first. So there's two winners, actually.
Oh, good.
Okay.
That means we can send out 2 packages. Or
Yeah. So I think actually, so Stephanie can win the first one because
happy
she
birthday, Stephanie.
Harry Smith. I'm looking at the comments here. Harry Smith, the Pacific Northwest, which is close enough.
No, as a matter of fact, that's the exact answer. He was born in Portland and spent a lot of time in Anacortes.
Right. However, Dan O'Quinn said
Oh,
the Yankee sales tonight, and he's correct.
he is correct. Oh, we have winners on both.
We have winners on
now,
both.
All
Yeah.
of you winners, please put go into the. Let's see. What do you do? Let Diana know how we can find you in the terrestrial plane through so that we can send you something from our wonderful supply of crappy merchandise.
Yep.
So we can make sure that this thing will appear at your doorstep, delivered by a uniformed federal employee.
Yes. Okay.
Anyway, so that was that piece of housekeeping.
Should we know
So I think I'm running out of things to say, so we should probably show the video.
Yep.
And Chris, you know what it is. I don't.
Okay, this is actually something actually from our continuing series of this is not the COVID ones. This is actually from the continuing series of the show that we did years ago, a few years ago at least, at the Couth Buzzard, and we put an album out of it. But I found a lot of the videos, so this is something particularly Irish. I'm pretty darn sure. Yep, it is. Okay, so at this point, I'm gonna change some things. It'll take me a moment to get it fired up, and off we go.
Oh. Irish now. This next song reflects the out-migration of the Irish when there was nothing to eat, and coincided with several things: the beginning of the Great Age of Sail and the tremendous growth of railroads in the eastern half of this country, and at least above the north of the Mason-Dixon line. The Irish did a lot of that work because it was the nastiest, lowest paying, dirtiest, horriblest work around, so as new kids on the block, they got to do it. The chorus of this song has some wonderful mouth music, as the Irish would call it. Another way to call it, another name for it would be Celtic doo-wop. Philly ori ori Philly ori ori Philly ori ori to work upon the railway. That's the whole start. What?
Start.
Oh, thanks for reminding me. Now that you've heard it that way.
Filling me, ori-ori-ay, filling me, ori-ori-ay, filling me, ori-ori-ay, to work upon the railway.
In 1841, big motor rod breeches I put on, big motor rod breeches I put on to work upon the railway.
Filling me, ori-ori-ay, filling me, ori-ori-ay, filling me, ori-ori-ay, to work upon the railway.
In 1842, I did not know what I should do. I did not know what I should do to work upon the railway.
Filling me, ori-ori-ay, filling me, ori-ori-ay, filling me, ori-ori-ay, to work upon the railway.
In 1843, I sailed away across the sea. I sailed away across the sea to work upon the railway.
Filling me, ori-ori-ay, filling me, ori-ori-ay, filling me, ori-ori-ay, to work upon the railway.
In 1844, I landed on Columbia shore. I landed on Columbia shore to work upon the railway.
Filling me, ori-ori-ay, filling me, ori-ori-ay, filling me, ori-ori-ay, to work upon the railway.
In 1845, when Daniel O'Farrell was alive, when Daniel O'Farrell was alive to work upon the railway.
Filling me, ori-ori-ay, filling me, ori-ori-ay, filling me, ori-ori-ay, to work upon the railway.
In 1846, I changed my trade from carrying bricks. I changed my trade from carrying bricks to work upon the railway.
Filling me, ori-ori-ay, filling me, ori-ori-ay, filling me, ori-ori-ay, to work upon the railway.
In 1847, poor Paddy was thinking of going to heaven. Poor Paddy was thinking of going to heaven to work upon the railway.
Filling me, ori-ori-ay, filling me, ori-ori-ay, filling me, ori-ori-ay, to work upon the railway.
In 1848, I learned to drink me whiskey straight. I learned to drink me whiskey straight to work upon the railway.
Filling me, ori-ori-ay, filling me, ori-ori-ay, filling me, ori-ori-ay, to work upon the railway. Filling me, ori-ori-ay, filling me, ori-ori-ay, filling me, ori-ori-ay, to work upon the railway.
And we are back. I need to ask William Felicia to ask to start video. There we go. Cool. Yes. All right. So what are we doing next there, Dan? And unmute yourself. There we go. There we
Okay.
go.
Now I am live, and I have sound. I have you can see me, and I guess we'll do it from there. Okay, video. Oh, one back. Oh, Chris and I are each going to do one more song,
Yep. And then
and then we'll have William and Felicia take us out with the two finals.
Yeah.
This next song is really I'm not sure I've ever done this in front of people, especially in this kind of a setting. It was written by Jim Page, and it tells a very moving story. That actually, the story came out a couple of months into the Great Plague that we've been living through, when folks in Ireland sent a bunch of money to the Navajo Nation, who were in terrible shape from the COVID thing, because they didn't have enough water to wash their hands and things like that, and they were dying like flies. And a bunch of Irish folks raised money to help get them help. And this was because in the Choctaw in the state of Oklahoma heard about the Irish potato famine. And although they were not exactly wealthy, they raised $170 and sent it to Ireland to help the Irish with their plight. I first heard this song done by Jim with, and I can't remember the names, the two great, the fiddler and the bagpipe player guy, the Irish bagpipe player guy, the two great ones that we know of around here, both of whose names have escaped me, but it was an amazing experience. Then I got a CD from Jim, which, imagine this, Jim Page in Nashville. It's an amazing album because it's like Jim Page with all these hot Nashville pickers, and just putting those things together is inspiring in itself. This is called Heroes and Survivors. Wish me luck. I'll tell you a story, all good friends of mine, of the heroes and survivors of a terrible time. Two great peoples separated by the sea, joined in understanding of a great calamity. A great calamity. 1831, it was the darkest of their years. Andrew Jackson drove the Choctaw on the Trail of Tears to the land of Oklahoma, only with a saber and the rifle on a 1,000-mile drive to the land of Oklahoma. Only half would survive. Only half would survive. They called it reservation, it was a cage without a wire. What 100 years later the Germans would admire, surrounded by a state that held the lock and key to the vision of their future and the free humanity. Oh, their free humanity. Half a world away in the emerald Irish land, famine stalked the countryside with doom on every hand. Starvation, desperation, driven to extremes, they died eating grass, their mouths stained with green. Oh, their mouths stained with green. And it was the British Empire that held the lock and key to their island reservation and their free humanity. Across the hungry countryside they walked the Trail of Tears, through death and and emigration. Half the people disappeared. Half the people disappeared. News travels fast when it goes from hand to hand, all across the mighty ocean to the Oklahoma land. When the Choctaw heard the story of the Irish in their plight, they knew that they were related, though their skins were red and white. Though their skins were red and white. And though their hands were nearly empty and their lands were nearly bare, they collected all the money that they thought that they could spare, and they sent it off to Ireland to their unknown new friends. $170, it was a fortune to them then. It was a fortune to them then. You may wonder at my story, you may marvel at its worth, but I tell you there is goodness in the people of the earth, and I tell you there is beauty in the darkest of the days, and a light who comes shining, blow the darkness all away. Blow the darkness all away.
Oh, well done.
Great song.
That is just great.
Isn't that an amazing piece of work?
He's just a brilliant songwriter anyway, but
Yeah.
wow, that's right.
You know,
Dylan would have been thrilled to write that.
Yeah,
yeah.
it would have been.
All right. Well, I'm going to completely break the mood because this song has to be done. So, this was a tune actually that no Irishman ever really wrote. It's what I call Irish lounge music. They basically did it because they were making fun of the Irish, but for some reason it's been adopted as something, and just have to do it anyway. Of course, it has to be Finnegan's Wake. Tim Finnegan lived in Walking Street, a gentle Irishman. Oh, and shoot, hang on. I'm going to deal with my... Hang on, here we go. Spotlight.
There you go.
Tim Finnegan lived in Walking Street, a gentle Irishman, mighty odd. He had a Brokeworth, rich and sweet, and a rise in the world he carried a hod. But Tim had a sort of tippling way, with the love of the liquor he was born, and to send him on his way each day, he'd a drop of the crater every morn. Whack for the da, now dance to your partner down the floor, your trotters shake. Isn't it the truth? I told you lots of fun at Finnegan's Wake. One morning Tim was rather full, his head felt heavy which made him shake. He fell from a ladder and he broke his skull, and they carried him home his corpse to wake. They rolled him up in a nice clean sheet and laid him out upon the bed. A bottle of whiskey at his feet and a barrel of porter at his head. Whack for the da, now dance to your partner around the floor, your shutters shake. Isn't it the truth? I told you, lots of fun at Finnegan's wake. His friends assemble at the wake, and Mrs. Finnegan fell for lunch. First she brought in tea and cake, then pipes, tobacco and brandy punch. The widow Malone began to cry, such a lovely corpse did you ever see? Alright, Tim of Vernon, why did you die? Will you hold your gub, said Batty McGee. Whack full of down, now dance to your partner round the floor, your trotters shake. Isn't it the truth? I tell you, lots of fun at Finnegan's wake. Well, Mary O'Connor took up the job. Biddy, she says you're wrong, I'm sure. Biddy gave her a belt in the gob and left her sprawling on the floor. Civil war did then engage, a woman to woman and man to man. Shillelagh law was all the rage, and a row and a ruction soon began. Work full of down, now dance to your partner round the floor, your trotters shake. Isn't it the truth? I told you, lots of fun at Finnegan's wake. Well, Tim Maloney ducked his head when a bottle of whiskey flew at him. He ducked and landed on the bed. The whiskey scattered over Tim. Oh, be dad to realizes how he rises. Tim Finnegan rising in the bed. Say, will you a whiskey around like blazes? Thunder and Jesus, do you think I am dead? Whack for the dad and dance to your partner round the floor, your trotters shake. Isn't it the truth? I told you, lots of fun at Finnegan's wake. Whack for the dad and dance to your partner round the floor, your trotters shake. Isn't it the truth? I told you, lots of fun at Finnegan's wake. Gotta be done.
Finnegan's wake. All right, one more toast here. I seem to be the toastmaster today, so
You're doing such a good job.
and there will be one more toast after this, but this is
Yeah.
to the Irish.
To the Irish.
Given us so much
The Irish.
Yes.
and taken some also. Cheerio.
Yeah. And think, and to how they built this country.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Between Irish and the African Americans, it's a lot of construction.
Now the Irish the Irish African Americans and the folks from China.
That's right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh, yes,
Yep.
indeed. Yes. Especially on this coast, indeed.
That's on this coast, given the railways and everything else. So yeah.
And it seems to be like they may be like the trifecta of people messed with the most as minorities.
And they were.
No Irish need apply, N-I-N-A.
Yeah.
You didn't even have to write the whole thing. You just wrote N-I-N-A, and people know what that meant
Yeah.
on a help wanted thing. Anyway,
Yes.
let's see.
Oh, we have to do one more thing, and I'm going to put it in the chat shortly. But
Oh, please.
please remember. Yes.
Yes.
Go there, really.
Go there, please.
Give early and often.
They need gas money. They need diesel money.
Yeah, their vehicles the size of like 3 of ours put together. So
No, it isn't. It's a very gracile little camper.
it's it's darling and cute. And I just remember one time, I guess probably at that or either Tumbleweed or at that Ren Fair, is just visiting with you guys, talking to you through a window that you had on the side, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
All right, it's time for announcements, basically.
Yes, it is time for
To
announcements.
let you know what's happening in the future.
Mm-hmm.
Because you already know what's happening in the present. Let's see, March. This will be a Saturday. In one fortnight from now, we will be holding forth with a really special guest, actually a winner in today's content, one of today's contests. Mr. Captain Dan O'Quinn will be our guest. He will not only sing songs, he will also tell stories. And if you've never heard him tell stories, you haven't totally lived yet.
You have not lived until you've heard Dan O'Quinn tell a story.
Yeah.
It's
And
fabulous.
actually, Chris has lived a lot because he recorded an album.
I did an album with him. It
Dano's
was-
stories. I was there when it happened.
Yeah, it was marvelous.
So And and the subtitle. I don't have subtitles into April, but the subtitle for the one in on the 27th is Spring, Sprang, Sprung, because it's after the equinox.
Right, there we go.
I mean, this is how I think. I can't really explain it any further than that. Now for April, turning the page in my lovely little floral calendar here, on the 10th of April, we will be pleased to welcome some of our favorite Bellinghamsters, Zeke Hoskin and Flip Breskin. Two amazing songwriters, singers, personalities, good people. I just was following Flip on Facebook, and she and several other people are doing things like cooking for homeless people and things like that. And I figure that this is true to form. You should have a Jewish mother feeding people. So anyway, they will be holding forth with their various songs. They are both brilliant writers and wonderful people, and you should be there. Following that, and we seem to be actually specializing somewhat in people in their bubbles here, couple bubbles. But on the 24th, we'll be welcoming Ron Dalton and Peggy Sullivan,
Yes.
who are most of Burgundy Pearl,
Yes.
if not all of it. I'm not sure about their current status. But they're both talented songwriters, singers, guitarists, and once again, just totally sweet people.
Oh my goodness, yes.
So, and if anybody has ideas for subtitles for the April shows, I think I actually. Oh no, the first April show is "Do Masks Help with Hay Fever?" This being kind of basically, my birthday comes around then, and my birthday always, my hay fever season ran from my birthday to my Aunt Edith's birthday about a month later. So that's just sort of a subject that kind of makes me think of something. I think was there anything else I was supposed to say?
I don't think so, but we really just, because of Mark's unfortunate, we do want to say that we will have Mark and Jess back. If they let us, because we had so much fun doing a sound check that it was just no way in heck that no way that we weren't going to have them back. And speaking as an independent contractor and everything else, that when Mark gets a call from CBS to go do some sound, he absolutely has to do what he needs to do. There's no question about it. Our little show should not detract him from making a living in that respect.
I mean, just like if William and Felicio, were suddenly put on, some were guests on Colbert or something, we would let you go.
We would let you go. We would forgive you for not playing here.
You're better than most of the musical guests that he has, but
That's
another story. But I still love his show.
Oh yeah.
Okay, well, I think I've talked more than enough. So how about you take us out with a couple songs? We'll do the final toast after that. And thank you very much for joining us.
It's our pleasure.
Everybody
We had
out
a
there.
great time.
And you two right
Thank
there.
you for thinking of us. It was awesome.
Oh, you're so easy to think of. It's just like falling off a log.
Yes. Well, just don't hurt. We don't want to hurt ourselves when we do that. So yes, take us out there.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, we'll follow up on your song, Chris, and because that was Tim Finnegan. He rose in carrying a hod, right? So this is another song about a hod carrier, and I like this just because it's the only time of year I get to sing this song. So I'm going to do it, and then we're going to play a couple of tunes, an Irish tune and a Scottish tune to kind of march us out of here.
Yeah.
But it's been great being here. Thanks so much. Okay, A Tale of Woe. Dear boss, I write this note to you to tell you of me plight. And at the time of writing, I am not a pretty sight. Me body is all black and blue and me face a deadly gray. And I hope you'll understand why Paddy's not at work today. I was working on the 14th floor, some bricks I had to clear, and throwing 'em down from such a height was not a good idea. The foreman wasn't very pleased, he being an awful sod. He says I had to take them down the ladder in me hod. Now loading all these bricks by hand, it was so awful slow. So I hoisted up a barrel and secured the rope below. But in my haste to do the job, I was too blind to see that a barrel full of building bricks was heavier than me. When I came down and pulled the rope, the barrel fell like lead. And clinging tightly to the rope, I started up instead. I shot up like a rocket, and to my dismay I found that halfway up I met the bloody barrel coming down. Now the barrel hit me shoulder, and to the ground it sped. And when I reached the top, I struck the pulley with me head. But I still held on, though numbed and shocked from this almighty blow. And the barrel spilled out half the bricks, 14 floors below. Now when the bricks had fallen from the barrel to the floor, I did outweigh the barrel, and I started down once more. Still clinging tightly to the rope, I headed for the ground. And I landed on the building bricks that were all scattered round. While I lay there moaning on the ground, I thought I'd passed the worst. But the barrel hit the pulley tree, and then the bottom burst. A shower of bricks came down on me, I hadn't got a hope. And as I was losing consciousness, I let go of the bloody rope. Now the barrel being heavy, well, it started down once more, and it landed right across me chest as I lay there on the floor. I broke 3 ribs in my left arm, and I can only say that I hope you'll understand why Paddy's not at work today.
and the crowd goes wild.
Thanks for having us, you guys.
Hey,
This
this
was
was
really fun.
Lordy.
And
It's-
wonderful to hear you again. You just both sound marvelous.
Oh, well, thank you. Even I kind of pretty much butchered the song. I thought I was going to do
Yeah,
better than
it
that.
still came across beautifully. It really did.
You had the feeling.
exactly.
Okay, I wanted to say howdy, Mickey and Joanne.
Yes.
And a request was made for one more announcement about our future shows. Now, by the way,
Well, actually, it's for their future shows.
well,
So make sure we get this right.
You can probably announce your shows too. I mean, this is your
Could
show.
do.
So
Yeah.
okay, both. But why don't you guys go first? Because you guess first.
Guess first. Yes.
Okay, we're doing our St. Patrick's Day show on St. Patrick's Day. That's Wednesday, the 17th, at 2 p.m. Pacific time, along with Mike Freeman and Tanya Opland, performing as Hunter's Moon, and that's available on YouTube.
Yep.
And we'll be rebroadcasting it again on the following Saturday on Facebook, just for people who, might have like jobs or something on Wednesday, or
What?
the rare person who doesn't take St. Patrick's Day off and go celebrate all day long.
Really.
So, and we do a monthly live
Live stream.
live stream
concert.
performance. So check out our pages on Facebook and stuff, and that'll be coming up again next month in April.
And there is where you can send money to them. It does not stay with us. It just goes from us to them.
Yes.
This is
It
just
really
an easy way
does.
to get it there.
Yep.
I just was so thrilled you did Patty and the Bricks.
Oh, yes.
Because by request, when we do our show in 2 weeks, Dan O'Quinn is going to do the nautical version of that song.
Oh, my God, yes.
It is just amazing. I mean,
I-
'cause of course
I
he's
gotta
a
hear
tall
that.
ship captain. So talk about, you might want to do a little homework beforehand just to understand all the bits and pieces he's talking about.
Oh,
I
God,
would
yes.
love to hear
It's
that.
wonderful.
Oh, yeah.
treatment.
I should tell you that I got to do, it was a cool experience. Dano being a ship's captain, to record the album, we were actually on one of his ships in, he invited basically his crew and families. And so he stood, yeah, and Dan, I think Jan was there too. And so we're recording him basically in the lounge, if you will, and the city was in back. It was in the Ballard at Ballard in the locks in the Ballard at
Fisherman's Terminal.
Thank you. I can't talk. And the evening was that, plus the fact that I could hear the city behind us and so forth, and it was just beyond magical. And so it's a very, very cool album. It really is. So it was a lot of fun. Yeah.
Okay, final toast.
Yes.
As always,
Yes.
this is a toast to our audience.
Toast to
Without
we
you,
wouldn't- yeah.
we'd just be practicing.
That's right. Absolutely. Thank you for
Absolutely,
listening
yeah.
and singing
Yeah.
along.
Well, thanks for hanging with us, and we'll see you next time. And thank you, both of you. Appreciate it.
Pleasure.
Okay, so stick around if you would. I'm going to hit the live stream off, and then we'll drink some more whiskey in a little bit. Okay.
Oh, and for you particularly, just with you in mind, a song that we close our sets with. Happy sails to you until we meet again.
Okay, I'm now stopping the